Thanks for doing this interview, Lou. It's really like one of the best things on this channel that I've ever had the opportunity to experience. So I appreciate you being here a lot. We're going to go over the 4 principles today. We're all very lucky to be sharing this stuff. The principle number 1, and I have a notepad down here, so cellular communication and cellular environment, and then cellular exercise and cellular nutrition. So communication, environment, exercise, nutrition is the 4 principles. Of course, I've gone to about 20 talks, so I should have that memorized, right? But you know me. Come on. So, anyways, I myself have been always. I get really interested in the personal stories and stuff. That's what kind of keeps me coming back. Just as those little nuggets of, because I know you're speaking to an audience of people that might not be sort of at the level that I'm at. So I like to get under there and get some more of the deeper stuff that I know that it's a little bit more non-linear is what I say, presences and things like that. So, but that's the kind of stuff that I understand, I operate out of more, and I know that most people, when you say about the max you can go is presence. That's about all you want to say. And there is no real way to describe it, but I'd be really honored if you'd share with us the 4 principles. We'll just knock it out in an hour-long interview here. So if you want to start with communication, that would be really great.
Well, the first principle is really, from my perspective, the most powerful one, because this is where you integrate the spiritual, the mental, and the emotional aspect of how you communicate in those areas. And as an example, when I had this realization that we were meant to be healthy and be well and have a good life, a long quality life, I was like somehow realizing that, and then at the same time I had this sense to surrender and just ask to that who created us to begin with. And that's what it was missing for me. I was always asking everybody else around me, but I never really like surrendered and actually put my hands together and just asked to that who created us to begin with. And that was a major breakthrough for me. So in communicating spiritually like that was a major breakthrough. So surrendering is probably the number 1 thing that I think all of us would be best to consider to do, is to surrender ourselves to that who created us and just ask for whatever we need. And in my case, I needed some help. I was breaking down, and I was majorly challenged, obviously, and so I wanted to know what was causing it. I wanted to know solutions, and I wanted to know how to live. And I was led right into it, and it showed me the way. So that's why I think the first thing we need to consider, based on what I was instructed to do, was to love and to forgive not only ourselves, but the people in our past that ever hurt us or offended us or neglected us or rejected us or violated us in some way or another. And to be able to love them and forgive them and accept them as our lessons, our opportunities to grow and to evolve and to become stronger, wiser, better people. And so before, I was total victim. I was truly a victim and was reliving these experiences over and over and suffering in the pain of it all. I didn't know how to stop that cycle. And I didn't know how to stop hating or resenting or being angry about the things that these people did to me. And so when I was instructed to love and to forgive and to accept, at that time I didn't even know the meaning of love or forgiveness or acceptance. I had no idea what that meant. And I didn't know what it meant to love and forgive somebody, or to be able to accept them as they are, and to be able to love them unconditionally, and to be able to even go as far as blessing them with love, peace, and harmony and success in their lives when they hurt me so bad. The thought or the idea of loving somebody or forgiving somebody or even bless them when they have hurt you so badly, you just don't think that you can do that. But I was instructed from the Most High to love him and forgive him anyway. That's huge. And I didn't know how to do that. And that's why, as I was being mentored by that fellow that came into my world, as he began to help me understand that this whole thing of being able to love and to be able to forgive these people and to look at them with a perspective that they were my teachers, my lessons, my opportunities to learn the power of loving and forgiving unconditionally, to be able to have the power and the lesson to be able to accept them as they are, and to recognize that these people that do these things, they don't know any better. They never have been touched by the Spirit of God, at least not yet. At least somehow they've lost that connection somehow through time. And so if a dog knocks over a dish when he's just a little puppy and knocks over a dish, do you take him out? Do you beat him up to the ground? Or do you train him? You see? And so I began to realize that all these people that did all those things, they didn't know any better. They really didn't. They didn't have that connection. They didn't know the meaning of love, or the meaning of how life works and what's the better way to live in this life. They don't have any idea of that. They're still asleep. They're still ignorant to these ways of living. And so when I began to be able to look at all those people in my past that hurt me with the idea that they were coming out of ignorance and doing things out of ignorance and not really being in touch or connected to the Most High, it gave me that ability to accept them from where they were, and to be able to love them anyway, and to be able to forgive them and give them space, and to be able to bless them with love, peace, and harmony, and success in their lives. And as I began to do that, and also be able to do for myself, my whole demeanor began to change. So that's why it's important that we learn to accept the idea that we are spiritual, we are electrical, we're electrical bodies, and we're unlimited. You know, that mentor that mentored me, he picked up a rock that would take 4 men to pick up. And when I saw that, it got my attention. It's one thing to meet somebody who appears 32 when they're 52, but the strength and the energy this man had, besides his youth, is that it was so out of the ordinary. And so I realized that we're a lot more unlimited than we make up to be, than we think or live like. And so when he went into later on, because he did this in the backyard, his backyard, when I was back there learning all these things he was teaching me. And when he went in the house later on to go to the bathroom, I ran to the rod trying to pick it up, and I couldn't pick it up at all. And the thing of it is, I was bigger, I had more weight, more muscle, I was much younger, and I was really strong, and I couldn't even pick it up a 1/4 of an inch. So I realized this man's onto something. So when he came out, I asked him, "How did you pick up that rock?" And he goes, "It's the breath." And I go, "The breath? What does the breath have to do with picking up that kind of weight?" And he goes, "I'll show you." So he taught me this breath work, and he taught me how to master this breath work. And through time, within 6 months, I not only overcame the tumor and all the diseases, but he said I was ready for the rock, which would have been my second time ever attempting to pick up that rock. And I actually had a doubt in my mind that I could pick it up, because I had never tried it before, other than that first time where I couldn't do it. So without the practicing of picking up that kind of weight, I just didn't have that idea that I could do it, right? So he said, no. Lou, what you don't understand is that you have taken the time to cleanse your mind and to cleanse your heart through loving and forgiving and accepting the people in your past. You have been cleared and completed with your past issues. You now love those people. You forgive those people. You accept them and you bless them. And you accept them as your lessons and opportunities in this life. You have grown tremendously. And because of that, and also because of the fact that you have cleansed your bowels, you got rid of that mucoid plaquing, the parasites, the viruses, the bacteria, the yeast that was growing inside you. And you got rid of all the diseases. You are cleared. The mucoid plaquing is gone. The protein plaquing is gone. The mineral deposits are gone. You have become toxic free. Because you got rid of the toxins, and because you got rid of the cobwebs in your brain, You're not thinking. You don't have limited thinking going on anymore. You're thinking powerfully now, and you are full of life. You're full of love. You're clear. You're free. This moment is what you call a moment of gratitude. I'm reflecting back at that moment how powerful it was. He asked me to do the breath work for a little while because I was really good at it by that time. I could take my breath, take it in for 8 seconds in through my nose into my body, hold it for 32 seconds with air in the lungs, and I could let out the air for 16 seconds through the mouth, the waist. The energy came in this way, the waste came out through my mouth for 16 seconds. I let it all out, and then I held my breath without air in my lungs for 32 seconds. And I would do one rep after the other like that for 30 minutes. And it takes something to do that. So I did that, and then I went underneath that big heavy rock, and I squatted way down there. And then I just as I was doing the breath and I was connecting with the rock, I stood up and the rock came up with me. I'll do something later that demonstrates that type of power. And when you see it and you feel it, and you just kind of know, oh, this is interesting. But when I experienced it, then I realized that we're a lot more unlimited than we've been living like and being like. And that's why it's exciting to know these things and understand these things. So when we talk about the first principle, we just want to get the idea that every time you judge or criticize or condemn or ridicule ourselves, or
YouTubers,
or each other, every time we're judging and criticizing, condemning, ridiculing ourselves or each other, this is when the body goes into an acidic condition. When the body becomes acidic, it becomes vulnerable, susceptible to every sickness and every disease. So if you have negative thinking, stinking thinking going on, negative intentions, negative emotions, fear, anger, resentment, guilt, shame, grief, these negative emotions distort the integrity and the quality of the cells in the body. We're made up of over 35 trillion cells, and every cell that we have that make up our bodies, they know exactly what we're thinking. They know exactly what we're feeling. They know exactly what our intentions are. They know exactly what we're, saying, thinking, feeling, doing. They know exactly what's going on, and they're responding based on what we're experiencing within ourselves. Does that make sense?
Sure does. I can feel the love, baby.
Well, that's why it's vital that we learn how to get clear and complete with the past issues, and really look at those past issues as our lessons, our opportunities. Those experiences, whatever we go through, we attract it to ourselves for a reason, to help us to become stronger, wiser, better people because of that. That's why we need to look at everything with that perspective. Everything we experience, everything we do, it's for us to learn from, to grow from. So every seemingly diversity that we go through, every challenge we go through, the good, the bad, and ugly, all of it, it's for us to enjoy the pleasure of life, but also to learn from it and to evolve from it. What's the lesson in this experience? Look for the lessons inside every experience we go through. So when you start learning how to think powerfully like that, and when you start looking at life like you're about evolving, growing, improving in every area of your life, and you start being open and receptive to that, and being responsible enough to create a declaration for yourself. There's a declaration that you can go to a website so you can get an example of a declaration. It's called, is it okay to mention it?
It is, please do.
It's called vitallifefoundation.com. And in that website, vitallifefoundation.com, go to the first principle called Cellular Communication, and inside that principle, you'll see the declaration that Tyler put together for himself. It's an example that you can use for yourself. And if you want to tweak it, adjust it, however, also gives you some instructions how to go about creating a declaration. Because once you reinvent your life, reproduce your life, redirect your life with a declaration, you're the one that chooses it. You're the one that directs it, right? You're the director of this life. So when you create your declaration, your script for your life into the future, it will manifest into place. And that's why when people think I'm highly disciplined from eating raw living foods or doing breath work or stretching or doing hot cold showers or whatever I do, or take the time to stretch and meditate, whatever I do, they think that's all discipline. It's not even discipline for me. It's effortless. I'll show you a couple of effortless movements that you'll see what I'm talking about. It's effortless. Because you see, when you declare what you want and what you want to be and how you want to be and how you want to live and how you want to eat and drink and what you want to do with your life, and you create the declaration around that, you're the one that chooses what you want in this life and where you want to go with it. It becomes effortless because you're the one that chooses it. There's a lot of people out there that are doing, oh, I got to do this and I got to do that and I got to eat like this and I got to be like this. That's not a declaration. That's doing something that somebody else wants you to do. When you start living your life and living from inside, living your passion and making the choice of what you're going to do, what you're going to live and how you're going to live and how you're going to eat, drink and everything else, and you take full, complete responsibility for how we live. You see, I didn't know how to do any of that before. But when I started taking ownership of my life, then that's when I came into power to make choices. See, we have the power to choose and to redirect and reinvent our life from moment to moment to moment. But when you create a declaration, you set that in stone for yourself. It makes your whole life different. That's why I'm impressed with you as my spiritual brother, because you made a declaration.
First night.
First night.
Called you up and read it to you about 3 in the morning, I think.
Yeah, you did.
I wish I had that paper with me, but I know that it's out there already and it's happening, and I'm getting my lessons, and a lot of people are getting helped on YouTube, which is one of my main things.
Well, I'll tell you, when I went through that near-death experience, and I said, show me the way, and I said, if you so choose to show me the way, you have my word that I will do my best to serve, to share, to pass on this knowledge, whatever it is, and pass it forward into the world, into my future. And however long I'm here on this planet, I will just keep doing it over and over and over, and I'll just keep making it available as much as I can. Eventually I'll write books and workbooks and DVDs. Right now I have a little booklet that people are buying for
$24,
$24, whatever.
And
but the thing is that that's like the book before the books and workbooks come out in the future, and all the DVDs and all that website stuff. But it's powerful. And I promised that I would get this information out. And the reason I'm here with you right now is because this is just another way to be able to disseminate this simple knowledge and to make it available. So remember, on the first principle, love, forgive, accept, and enjoy this life. And you know, remember that all the things in the past, we attracted it. Look at it. Observe it. Let's not judge anymore or criticize it on it. Just observe it, learn from it, grow from it, evolve from it, and become stronger, wiser, better people because of those experiences. If it wasn't for those experiences, I couldn't even come close to doing the things I've been doing. Because of these teachings, people have been following these teachings and adopting them, and because of it, their diseases are disappearing because of these teachings. And they're getting well, and they're feeling great, and they're being fulfilled, and living a good life. And that's powerful in itself. So some of you are going to take this, and you're going to feel it, see it, know it, and grab it, and run with it, and have a good life with it. Some of you, it may just go right over your head. I don't know. But I just pray that somehow it all makes sense. It all lines up. Between us, we'll be able to help and assist you to catch on to it. So stay in touch.
You bet. Okay, so that was the first principle, communication, and the importance of love and acceptance.
Love and acceptance and forgiveness of ourselves and those in our past.
Yes.
And continuing to live that way. And remembering that every experience is for our best interest, to learn, to grow, to evolve. No more victim here.
100% responsibility.
100% responsibility and be empowered by that.
Okay, let's do number 2, which is cellular environment. Yeah, we'll just keep rolling. How's
Okay.
that sound? And we'll keep, yeah,
All right.
we'll keep rolling. Let's do cellular environment, Lou. Tell